morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. I hope you guys are all doing good. So I have gotten this question a bajillion times on Instagram, like legit so much that I figured it's time to do the video on it. So the question, or like the kind of combination of questions that roll into this, is can you talk more about how you work at home, what you do, what got you here, and all the things. So we're going to talk about it. Working from home, I've been working from home exclusively, 100% full-time for about, what year is this? 2019. So I would say since early 2014. And what I do now versus what I did in 2014 is different. So let's backtrack. I went to college to be a middle school band director. When I was in high school, I thought to myself, well, I want to teach music and I want to do middle school band because I'm a flute player and I'm pretty sure that middle school band music is going to be easier for me to be able to teach to children is what I thought. Hi, Rosie, how are you? So I was like, yeah. So anyway, so I went to college. First, I started at a music education major, and then I added flute performance to that about halfway through my college. And I did that because I love private teaching. Like private teaching was something that I started as a high school student. And once I, started doing that and it was kind of in the routine, I started to really like it. And I was like, okay, so I wanted to be able to private teach also after I graduated from college. So I added flute performance to my major at university, and once I got into my last 2 years and I got into my field experience and was doing my student teaching and all that, I was like, man, I do not think I want to be a middle school band director. I don't think I want to be a high school band director. I don't think I want to be a band director. So I was like, well, maybe I need to figure something else out. But so I graduated with my degree and like all the things, and started looking for a job after I graduated, and I thought to myself, well, I either need to take on a whole gaggle of students, and like a lot of them, to equal the same amount of income that I would make as a band director, or I needed to just suck it up and be a band director. So I applied to be a band director at numerous places in town, numerous high schools, middle schools, and things like that. My interviews went really well, glowing reviews. I found out every single time, after every single interview, the person that got the job, I was always second, behind the person who had a year of substitute teaching as a music teacher in that district, every single time. So it was about like a week before all of the schools were going to start in town here in Ohio. And I got a phone call from one of the principals of one of the places that I interviewed. And he said to me, he was like, so can you tell me, do you have a teaching position right now? And I said, no, I don't, I'm still looking. And he's like, so the person that we hired is on maternity leave now. So would you be interested in being this director at this school? It'd be assistant, high school, and full-time middle school for a little bit of time. And so I was like, got nothing else, sure, absolutely. And I still had some private students and that kind of thing, but it wasn't enough to be like a sustainable full-time income. So I was like, yeah, I'll take it. And it was like the Wednesday before school was starting on Monday. Like it was like right up to the end. So I got to the school, I met the full-time band director. I realized that the lady that I was filling in for that's on maternity leave was the band director's wife. So it's like, oh, she was always a shoo-in the entire time, but I didn't know that at the time. Anywho, so my assumptions about the job were true. It was very soul-sucking for me. I was very good at directing. Like I can do 4 patterns. I can do, like, I won directing competitions at my college. Like I'm a very competent musician and director. Not very good at the classroom management thing. When you have 80 middle school students like looking at you, it was not my personality. So I started interviewing for desk jobs, and I thought I was like a total failure for not like pursuing what I thought as a high schooler that I should be doing as an adult, right? It's like all these limiting beliefs and things you have in your brain. So I ended up getting a desk job as an administrative assistant at a nearby college music school. So not the one I attended, but one that was nearby. And so I worked at that for a year. And so it wasn't full time, so I did that in private teaching. And I didn't have any benefits from it. There was no like thought about it being full-time eventually, so I needed to get something full-time from an income standpoint. I had student loans I was paying off, I had car loans, and like, you know the drill, y'all know. So I ended up working at a call center for a brief amount of time, and then I was hired on in the admission office of the college that I went to as the visit coordinator and like the front desk person. So I was putting together all the college visits for the students. I was like the face of the university, the first person they saw. So I did that for about 5 years-ish, and then I moved over to be an administrative assistant to the dean of the nursing school at the same university. Okay, so there's my backlog of what I did working out of the house, and it was about an 8-year time span through there. While that was going on, I was still private teaching. I ended up moving to this house here, which is in more of a suburban area with a lot of students, a lot of schools where I grew up. And I also started my blog and my YouTube channel here. So Annie's Simple Life started out as a blog, and then it turned into a YouTube channel as a failed job interview for a company that they were looking for somebody to be a trainer. So I had to make a video to show how I demonstrated something. Didn't even get an interview, but that's how Annie's Simple Life came about. So towards the end of working at the college as an administrative assistant, I had the blog up and running, I had YouTube up and running, I had my music students like up and running and all that. I'm sorry for this like awful lighting. And I was like, I think I can do it. I think I can figure out how to work at home for myself, because that's really what I wanted to do ultimately. I wanted to teach full time as a private teacher. I wanted to get my social media presence up so I could have some sort of a residual income coming in online. So we moved, I left the job, and I started teaching here in the house, private flute lessons. I took on clarinet as well because I knew enough about clarinet to be able to teach it, at least to young students. And I ended up teaching 8 different school districts worth of students. So I was teaching all the time, and my voice was going and all the things. Started getting the YouTube channel up, yada, yada, yada. So that brings me to what I'm doing full-time now, which is not private teaching. So I do teach students. I do it for fun. I do play in orchestras. I play my flute. I freelance on my flute. I do it. I take the gigs that I want to take. I'm no longer tied to having to take on every student, take on every gig and all of that thing because of something called Young Living. All right, so Young Living came into my life the end of 2014. And it came into my life because my sister started it. She got me interested in using essential oils because up until this point, I was so interested in like healthy eating, natural health. That's how this channel started and how my blog started, was healthy recipes and like helping to heal ourselves with food. Like that was my interest. So falling into the world of essential oils was kind of like the next logical progression towards just overall full body health and wellness from a natural standpoint. So my sister got interested in oils. We went and like listened to an essential oils class and were able to like actually smell the oils. And I had used oils from the health food store, but they didn't smell like these things that I was smelling. Like I was like, there's something different here about these. Like, what is this? So my sister ended up getting her Young Living membership so she could get a discount on the oils, and I was ordering through her and yada yada. And she's like, you know, you really should just get a starter kit. And so I was like, okay, well, how do I do that? And so, you know, I started researching and blah, blah, blah. I really wanted Young Living oils, and I found out that it is a network marketing company. And immediately I was like, nope, nope, no, I know those people. I don't like those people. I am not doing this. No, I do not want to, no. She's like, you don't have to do the business. She's like, just get the oils so you get the discount. And I was like, can I do that? Like, is that okay? She's like, most people, when they get oils in their house, they don't share about them. They don't do the business. They just do it for their own personal use. And I was like, are you sure? And so she showed me the statistic. There's like literally like percentages of how many people just use the product versus who do the business, which at that point I didn't even know what that meant. And so yeah, 94% of people just get a Young Living Premium Starter Kit so they can get the oils in their house and have a discount to order things in the future if they want to. So I was like, okay, cool. No pressure for me. Like, Awesome, that's great. So I got my starter kit, no intention at all about sharing about the oils, at all, none. Because I was not gonna be one of those people. I literally said to her, do not think that I'm gonna share about these things, because I'm not one of those people. So anyway, got the oils, I started using them, I loved them. I was like, oh my gosh, these things are great. I was making my own deodorant. I don't know if you guys have been with me for a long time. You've seen the DIY deodorant video from years past, you know, all those things. I was like making my own this and that and the other, and like my own bath salts. I was making my own like diffuser blends. I was doing all these things and putting them on my face and using them, and I loved them. I started sharing about them. And I was like, I'm turning into one of those people, but I'm not. Here's the thing. So the thing about Young Living, which is really cool, is that it's way more of an affiliate type of business than a traditional network marketing business. So like my initial vision of what I thought network marketing was like, and I don't want to call out names, but I'm going to, like Pampered Chef and like Avon and things like that, like these different companies where I was like, okay, they gotta take orders, they gotta make people go to parties they don't want to go to, they gotta like, you know, all these things. I had this negative, like that pyramid scheme, I am not doing this, you know. I had this awful negative connotation to what I thought it was. My word. I look back now and I'm like, how arrogant could I have possibly been? So anywho, fast forward, yada, 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 a couple years, you know, in the making, I started sharing about them on my YouTube channel. With Young Living, you can't get Young Living products unless you know somebody who's in Young Living. And if you sign up with Young Living and to get a starter kit, they're gonna assign you to somebody that's there to answer your questions. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna put my affiliate link out there, see who wants oils, yada, yada, yada. So it turns out I kind of fell backwards into the business, and it has allowed me to cut way back on my music students. So I teach who I want to teach. I take the gigs that I want to take with playing my flute, and I share about health and wellness. And I can tell you, you know, we've got a team about, you know, a few hundreds of people now, over 300 people at this point. And every single one of them that I have talked to have been like, thank you so much for sharing about these things, because they've totally changed XYZ, all these different things, whether it's their family's health, their baby sleeping through the night, they're not catching all the things that are going around, they're replacing toxins in their house, whatever it is. It has been the most rewarding business of any, even my private teaching, of any business I've ever had, because I have been able to impact more lives, and I'm gonna keep sharing about these oils. So what's it like? It's awesome. That's what it's like. It is absolutely awesome being able to share about health and wellness in a way that impacts people far and wide. Because truth be told, getting to this point now, I had so many failures, getting to the point where I can work at home for myself. I still fail. Oh my gosh, like I still do things wrong and like all the things. But the thing that I love is that I'm still teaching, not just about music, but I'm teaching about wellness too. And that impacts more people than teaching flute lessons to high school students. Now, I know that teaching my students, obviously it's gonna have a lasting impact on them for forever. I still remember my private teachers, and actually one of my band directors is in my oil family. So it's like full circle, right? It's like she taught me, I taught her family, and it's so fun. I love it. It's just so, so fun. So I've failed a lot along the way. Oh, hi, Julie. I love you. Our oil family is the best, and it's true, and it is a family. I was not expecting what it's turned into at all. Like, I thought I was just gonna help somebody stay healthy by like telling them use these. Like, that's like where I thought it was gonna end, but it's certainly gone way beyond that, and it's just the coolest thing. And the thing is that when we get our own starter kit, so we just get a membership to Young Living, we have the option of sharing about oils, but we never have to. And like, that's the thing that I love about it, is that if you just wanna use the products, if you just wanna have the discount and just order for yourself and like call it a day, it's totally fine. And that's why I was okay with getting my starter kit first. I have this weird reflection on me. That's like from my computer, sorry. So anyway, that's what I do full time. I teach people about health and wellness using essential oils, and I love it. And it is the best community of people, both in my essential oil family, but also out there's like 6 million Young Living customers right now, if not more. And there is such a family feel around it because we all have the same goal. We all have the goal of using tools at home that are natural to support our health. Like that's it. Like that's what it boils down to. And it's so empowering. I can tell you the thing that like really got me wanting to start sharing about these, you know, those tummy 3 a.m. wake up calls. Heaven forbid, knock on wood, they don't happen all that often, right? But when they do, you want something to help you. When you put some Digize on yourself, you smell it from the bottle, and then you feel better and you can go back to sleep and nothing happens. I'm telling you, guys, seriously, this is something that will change your life. The quality of life that we have now is totally beyond where it was. Oh my gosh, if I had these oils in college, early on in my marriage, and like all these things, even working when I was a band director, who knows, maybe I would still be a band director now because I'd have a lot less stress. I don't know. But because of all the what I perceived failures, like not getting the job interview from my demonstration of cutting a pineapple and cutting a mango here on YouTube, this wouldn't even exist. So it's like the things that I've had, and everybody has these, along the way where I'm like, oh, I failed. Like this did not go the way I had planned it. The way I had planned it was not the way it was supposed to be planned. So, anywho, does that answer everybody's questions? I hope it does. But that's where I'm at now. So, if I were to put a percentage on my time spent, I would say about I'm at 90, maybe 85% young living, and then about, 10 to 15% of music stuff, freelancing, playing my flute, teaching my music students. I have an online course that's a flute course too, where I've got about 400 students across the world. That also would not have come about if I didn't have YouTube, an experience of setting up a camera and editing and like all those things, So it's just funny how everything kind of just goes full circle and nothing is an accident. So that's where we're at now. So I hope that's helpful for you guys. If you have suggestions on what you would like me to talk about in future videos, let me know. Leave a comment below. You can shoot me a DM on Instagram. That's fine. I'm just Annie Simple Life on Instagram, or Annie Simple Oils if you want to follow my wellness account. I talk about all things essential oils if you guys are interested in learning about them. They are really cool, awesome tools. And we do, like Julie was saying, have the best essential oil family on the planet. They are my brothers and sisters, and I love them to pieces dearly. So, all right, y'all, have a great rest of your Saturday. Also, I wanted to kind of announce a little bit that more live videos are going to be coming more consistently. So we might end up upping this to be more than just once a day. It might end up being multiple times a day. We'll just see. I'm gonna need a lot of my valor for that because, oh my word. But it's good. It's all good. Okay, love you guys. We'll see you soon.